Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. That basically means, ladies and gentlemen, that I think and hope and pray and doing everything I possibly can to make sure that the people on earth, but more specifically here in America, get a chance to live the life of their dream. That sounds wonderful to me, and it sounds like the vision of the God that I know. Today I want to talk to you on the subject matter, my God. You know, there have been an awful lot of gods around here, living on this earth, living in this world, and beyond this world, at least talked about. These are some strange gods. And I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that we have acknowledged that in our continental United States, everybody has the right to worship as they see fit. There's no what you call state church or church that has been accepted as one that is imposed on everybody. And I guess that is good. Thank goodness for that. But at the same time, it allows for so many gods. One say go to the left, the other says go to the right. One say go up, one say go down. And everybody got their perspective. And they're going from left to right, up and down, and they're getting no place. Something tells me that something is wrong with that. Maybe it's the right of everybody to go their own way, but when they go no place, something is wrong with that. And I just believe that there's a God that should serve every purpose. And had it not been, I don't think I'd be worshiping a God. I don't think I'd even believe in it. But you know, there are some people who believe in God known as the Founding Fathers. And that's okay. They want to believe that. That's okay. However, it's a contradiction in reality. I have been living here on this planet for over 60-some years. We have had political leaders come and go. And let me tell you something. Every last one of them said they believed in something. And every last one of them had those supporters out there who gave them the image of being the greatest of all times. You know, every president has had his detractors and people who just love them. Every last one of them. But at the same time, when all of these various presidents, I think about 44 of them now, have been in office, there have been super rich people and there have been super poor people. Something tells me something wrong with that. How in the world can there be super rich people and super poor people and that president or those legislators who have been called in to mend the situation, to right the situation, I guess they were called in to do that, haven't done it, and yet they are called the best they ever were. There's a man who is considered as being one of the greatest presidents that the United States has ever had. There's a certain group of people who like to call up his name anytime they start talking about some issues that they can do and what he did. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that president was so out of touch with reality that while I was serving in the military, I refused to take orders and accepted an other than honorable separation than to be under his authority. But yet, he's held up as being the greatest. Why did I do that? Because while he was doing certain things to please certain people, and you know who they are, money people, he was doing such awful things to hurt other people, not just only in this country, but around the world. And he is renowned as the greatest president in the United States. Let me tell you something. To me, if a man isn't led by the right God, he's going to screw up. There's no way he can miss it. You can't be pushing for Republicans and think that you got something going. You can't be pushing for Democrats and think you got something going. You can't be pushing for the up or the down and think you got something going. You got to be pushing for all circles. The circle. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you are black, white, or anything in between, whether you're a woman or a man or anything in between, you were made by the power of God. That God made you not to spite you, but because God loved you, needed you, and wanted you. That's why you exist. He put everything above the earth, on the earth, and in the earth to be available to you. That he has qualified intellectually, at least put inside of you what is required so that you can suck in everything that you basically need to be the best at whatever you were given to do. And given that choice, that right, that inalienable right to do it here on this planet, wherever you live, It would be a part of a puzzle that makes it complete, so that all the goods and services that you as a people would need to make you happy and live as though you're in heaven could be manifest, and every last one of you could live on this earth as though you are divinely blessed. And there was not one copper penny, not one silver nickel, not one green bag in God we trust anywhere, anywhere. Now we come in and throw some junk on the puzzle and mess up everything. And now you're getting a political field out there ready for the 2012. One who says we're going to cut the budget, live within our means. What do you mean our means? These are not our means. These are divine means. These are God's means. And when you're going to cut, why you want to bless the ones on the top and hurt the ones on the bottom? What kind of God do you listen to? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to all of you because I know all of you care. You've just been trained by a philosophy that caring is not a part of. But there is a God, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, if you were one that was left out, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about. I realize and understand that those of you who have been blessed under these systems, you cannot see what I'm talking about because you've been trained that way. But for those of you who have been left out, it is incumbent, it is necessary, absolutely necessary, that you accept this God of love that loves rich people, that loves those that hate you. And you got to love them as well. But you got to love that God that made you more than you love them. Basically put, that means you cannot allow them to rob you of what God has blessed you with. You got to stop running around here talking about Republicans and Democrats. You got to stop running around here talking about a God that has no love for you. You got to look inside of yourself. Find that God that made you, that loved you, even though he might have been asleep your whole life. Look inside yourself. Find that God that loves you, that made you and thought it was absolutely necessary to put you here. You might have been a drug baby, an alcoholic baby. You might be a person of being raped. You may be one who people don't think that you have any respectability because of your sexual persuasion. But nevertheless, you didn't make yourself. God put you here, and you are special. Always remember, you are special. Don't care what folks outside of you say. Look inside of yourself and hear that God, hear that voice that tells you, you are somebody. You are important and you are needed. The world cannot survive while you are here if you don't contribute your part. Don't let anyone deny you the right to be who you are and be happy about it. Don't be ashamed. Hold your head up. If right now you're ragged, don't be any more ashamed than a rich person is of you being ragged. Because they are just as much responsible for your raggedness as you are. And I said just as responsible. I'm not putting it all on them. Because yes, they have played their role in creating what you see. But you have helped them. You have empowered them by accepting it. Stop it. And we've been doing this for so long. And we are under a power of government. That if you rise up and go against the norm, they will do everything to bring you down. They will persecute you in every way. They will lock you up in jail. They will put you in prison. And if people really start listening to you, they will kill you. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. That is the price that you have to pay for love. That is the price you have to pay for freedom. That is the price you have to pay for peace. That is the price you have to pay for prosperity. I know none of you just want to die. We all want to live and enjoy the life that I'm talking to you about today. But we have gone astray for so long till maybe, just maybe, for years and generations, many of us will have to lay our lives on the line and just die like flies being squashed with a swatter, so that our great-grandchildren and those further on down the line can enjoy the heavenly life. Yeah, there are a lot of people around here. They are doing demonic things. Some people say it's the devil, but I want to tell you, you look around, you won't see a devil, you'll see people. And people doing the work of the devil. And as I have said on many occasions, you look around and act as if you want God, the God of love that I'm talking to you about, to wave a magic wand. If there's a magic wand, it is in your hands. If there's a magic wand, it's in your mouth. It's in your feet. It's in your ability to be effective in those things of love. You hear me, ladies and gentlemen? I have been talking to you about things like this for 30 years. Nobody wants to hear it. You made George Bush president, and you called George Bush one of the worst presidents that have ever lived. You made Barack Obama president, and many of you are calling him the worst president that have ever lived. You've had a white man. You've had a black man. You've had Republicans. You've had Democrats. And at the end of the day, they are all the same. You say, how so? They have the same results. And yet, at this day, at this time, you're still trying to find out which party you want to repeat to give you the same results. Are you out of your mind? And most of you fill churches talking about a God, and in this God that you're talking about, he has you standing on the left. He has you standing on the right. He has you standing on the up. He has you standing on the down, separating yourself and are doing nothing. What kind of God is that? Ask yourself, what kind of God is that? Well, I know you think it's the best God, and if everybody just went to the left, it would be all right. If everybody just went to the right, it would be all right. If everybody just went up, it would be all right. If everybody just went down, it'll be all right. I tell you, if everybody went those ways that I just mentioned there, all you have is a spinning wheel. And I do know that spinning around in a circle can give you one awful headache. So why not, my friends? Why not bow down and accept a God that loves every last one of you? You know, a God that can make you feel as though you're on top of the world if you're on the left. Can make you feel as though you're on top of the world if you're on the right. Can make you feel as though you're on top of the world if you're on the top. Make you feel as though you're on top of the world if you're at the bottom. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When you feel like you're on top of the world, you are satisfied with everybody that's been on top of the world. Why? Because you're all satisfied. And when you're all satisfied, that's like a game that's won. So try that God. I'm introducing to you the God that I know. You know, your God, I have listened and watched you. I don't have anything to do with that God you know. That God that you know is a divisor. Has no remedy for peace. Has no prognosis for love. That God that you know is a strange fella. I don't have anything to do with it. But I do want to introduce you to you, a God that I know. A God that loves you wherever you are. And is just asking you to reciprocate that love to one another. And that God will be loved at the same time. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this will do something to bring us closer together, bring more of the things that I've mentioned to you, to us. This has been and is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. All people, ladies and gentlemen. All of you. Peace, prosperity, and joy, education, health care, and an opportunity to have a career of your choice. All people. Every last one of you. Now, can your God be that? Can your God be that? Or is your God still talking about a budget? A budget that has to do with money that God had nothing to do with introducing. And those people who introduced it have trillions and trillions of it amassed while nations are being devastated. You better think this thing out. Bye-bye.